Welcome back, fellow horror geeks, to 100 Days of Horror, presented by citygeek.com. My name is Bob, and today I'm talking about 5 more Godzilla movies. I did have that previous review where I looked at 11 Godzilla or Godzilla tangentially related. Though I'm working my way through this series, is probably the last set that will be part of 100 Days of Horror. So everything else after this, you'll have to wait to the Seeing Them All for Godzilla vs. Kong when that comes out in March. But these are my numbers 69 to 73, unlike the other ones where I were interspersed. These were 5 in a row. Because I don't want the video to go too long, I'm not going to talk too much in detail each of these, except for some kind of quick thoughts on each of these films as we go through. So first we're looking at 1971's Godzilla vs. Hedorah, also known as Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster. This one is one that I had to purchase because it's not streamable and none of my friends owned it. So, oops. But it's not. But apparently it's gonna be on that box set that comes out from Criterion in a little while that I cannot afford. But so I will not be buying that yet. But yeah, this was a weird one. It's not a good one by any means, but it was definitely an entertaining film. When I first posted it on Her Days of Horror, kind of like, yeah, this is crap. And then Tony reminded me, like, what about this stuff? And I went back to the notes. I'm like, oh yeah. So it was entertaining as I was watching, because I had some weird ass notes for it, but then I kind of forgot about it all afterwards. So I don't know how much it has to say about that. But in your case, we have a very environmental rich message to smog monsters who take with some really weird designs with these really odd eyes moving through. Really awful suits though, because the battles in this one are not where the entertainment comes from. The entertainment comes from the weird ass stuff they throw in otherwise, like these weird cartoon segments that almost feel like bumpers for if it was going to commercial. There's the psychedelic nightclubs, all about oddness of this movie. They were trying out all sorts of different things, probably also trying out all sorts of different drugs that they're making it because, oh, what the fuck, we're 12 movies into a series. Kids just want to watch Godzilla beat up things, so we're not gonna put a lot of weird. We're just gonna do whatever works, sure. But I really love the musical choices in this. There's that weird Bond-like theme song at the beginning. The music doesn't match anything that happens. The music's goofy and weird, like the Halloween 5 cops or Last House on the Left with the cops in that. Might as well have the cops on Godzilla in this case. It definitely has its moments. After taking a break from my hatred of all monsters attack, this was a step up, but not much of a step up. Luckily, the things that follow I did like a lot more, but I'll get to those in just a minute. So I don't have really a lot to say about this one, so we're just gonna move on to 1972's Godzilla vs. Gigan. One that's also not streaming, but I was able to borrow it from Tony, who did own this, and this one I liked a lot better. They seemed like they stopped, took a moment, and said, all right, we need to get back to the basics. So when you have a handful of monsters fighting off with a much better monster design than the last time. I love the way Gigan looks, or Gigan. Sorry, Godzilla fans, I mispronounced that. He's definitely all about destruction, because he's got I love it. He's got claws here, then there's like big saw blade in his chest, and it's all about destruction porn again. So much so that there's blood in this one, which is kind of weird. It's like bright red Italian cinema blood. That was kind of off-putting, kind of see it for a movie that's definitely more based into kids, as Godzilla gets his ass kicked by Gigan. I love the Monster Island theme park and I love the Monster Island theme park and its life-size Godzilla that the aliens are controlling, because aliens bring Gigan in, they take over the theme park and they start fighting in this way, and they start controlling. I love bringing back the Ankylosaurus character, and then King Adora again. So yeah, though I was focusing a lot on Gigan at the beginning because he's our new monster, I'm glad that to have a couple more in there, but not being overwhelmed with so many. Much love Destroy All Monsters. Trying to repeat that a couple more times would be a thing. I know that happens a couple more times later on in the series I haven't got to, but those are new to me when they happen. But yeah, this one kind of gets the feel of what I like about some of these movies. This is a better entry in the towards the end of this era. Kind of knew what it was but did try. So like, I think in Hedorah, they're kind of like tired, and like maybe they just had to get it out of them. And now for this one, they're able to come back and have a little more fun and enjoy them, and put a little more like effort and nature, and just say, all right, if people are gonna do these and we're gonna make these, let's actually try better. But that's unfortunate because it's followed up by, but this sentiment didn't work too long, because after this we got 1973's Godzilla vs. Megalon, which is one of the other ones featured in Mystery Science Theater 3000 for good reason, because, yeah, this one doesn't work nearly as much. with more ill-fitting suits from the Megalon itself. It's kind of like a giant bug. The guy kind of just moves around like this, and it's a lot more awkward and stilted. Then we get Jet Jaguar, who is, I feel, was supposed to be Ultraman, but had some rights issues. So we get life-size robot, a human-sized robot that turns into a giant size, doing his own thing with this weird-ass smile on it. Looks like a weird Bad Halloween mask, where the guy from Satan's Little Helper, which actually I haven't seen yet. Maybe I should watch that for 100 Days of Horror before the end. But it did have a little bit of fun with the silliness. Seatopia looks weird. So in this case, we have, instead of aliens, we get the Seatopians, who are underneath the sea, who are upset about everything that's happening. So they send Megalon to fight for them against Godzilla. And we have more of a big monster battle with Godzilla, Megalon, Jet Jaguar, and Gigan comes back from last time. But unfortunately, outside that silliness, it does look kind of cheap, and just have this big open area, and the people just kind of bump into each other again. There's a lot, with all these different monsters, there is some more interesting choreography. With the final battle, because the final battle gets really silly and really laughable, because it kind of constantly turns into a wrestling match of moves and this and that, including the in the Mystery Science Theater 3000 intro, when you see Godzilla moving by his tail in kind of a jump, but he's sliding on his tail to hit the monster. Yeah, that's in this movie, and he does it a couple times, and it does not work at any way. But for a Godzilla movie, it doesn't really have a lot of Godzilla. We're spending most of the time with people who made Jet Jaguar instead, as they go about what they're doing, and Megalon coming through in this. Godzilla only pops in here and there to kind of save the day, ultimately. Silly, entertaining, but it wasn't particularly good in any way. Part of me wonders if this version of this movie is kind of like becomes the cultural standpoint of Godzilla, just the way that it works, and the way the movie moves, and the way that the action sequences go. Remind me of like when you see Godzilla riffed in pop culture. This is kind of like the style I think about. So I wonder if like this kind of became like the staple that played on TV a lot after it premiered. Kind of became the thing. Force Mystery Science used it. Besides, I do love the fact that in both the movies so far with Gigan, when he's like done, he's just kind of like, whatever, I'm done. Just like gets up, pieces out, and flies off into the distance. And he's not like defeated and killed and someone comes back. He's like, at one point he's like, I'm done. Just gets up, dusts them off, and just leaves. And I love that. It's like, whatever, see you next time. And next time, for Godzilla at least, is 1974's versus Mechagodzilla, which is the first entry to have the giant robotic version of Godzilla, coming a couple years after King Kong had his own mecha version from King Kong Escapes, we talked about last time, so you can find that if you're interested. This movie's messy. Has a lot of ideas it doesn't really follow through on. In this case, we have a new Godzilla who shows up and starts wrecking shit. It's eventually revealed to be a giant robotic version. We have this culture who is following the prophecies for the return of their particular kaiju, King Caesar, who eventually of course show up as the prophecy starts going. And then you have these aliens who looks like ripoffs from Time of the Apes or Planet of the Apes. I wonder if they reused masks from Time of the Apes, which is another wonderful Mystery Science Theater 3000 of a ripoff of Planet of the Apes. So we have these different things going on. They don't completely meld. They don't completely feel like they're thought through. More of an excuse to have these battles over time. But I did love the battles a lot. I love the reveal of Mechagodzilla, because he starts showing up and wrecking shit, and Anglosaur comes back again to... it's like, yo, what's going on, friend? And it's like, oh, friend, why are you fighting? You get a little chink in the armor start to come off, and you get that really cool look. And then when Godzilla eventually shows up and says, nope, who the fuck are you? They start fighting. I love it when Godzilla blasts with his atomic breath, and everything just kind of tears away, revealing the monster underneath. That was a really cool setup. I like the design of King Caesar. He looks kind of silly with his still face. But it works, and eventually the battle just comes kind of bad. The final battle is kind of bad, but I do like Mechagodzilla's complete arsenal of everything. I wanted to say I do feel bad for Anglosaurus. I don't keep messing his name, because he gets the shit beat out of him, all sorts of blood. Like I said in the versus Gigan, that how much blood there was in that, I was kind of surprised. This one, there's lots of it, which is, I felt bad for him. He's just a monster doing his thing. But I did like the Godzilla versus Godzilla battle before the reveal of Mechagodzilla, and the Godzilla's little wave after he leaves the battle, like, see you around. Yes, the title card comes back, and I have changed my shirt because actually it's about 2 days since I recorded this last one. I ran out of power on my camera and never got around to coming back to it that night. And when I went back to record yesterday, I realized that some more of my lights up here are out, so things are a little bit darker. But I didn't want to do it after the sun went down, so I do apologize about that. And we're back for number 73, 1975's Terror of Mechagodzilla, and this one was a lot of fun. The best part was coming back and hearing that theme song again. I don't remember seeing it in the last couple entries, but when it popped up, it brought back my interest. So I don't think we've heard it for a while, at least in that same way. But obviously I'm not going to try and recreate it here, but it was refreshing to hear that, and this made me happy. And again, we have more aliens, bringing back Mechagodzilla, and a thought dead doctor who has cloned roboticized his daughter, and the best stuff from this movie comes from that daughter and some of the lines she has. And this cyborg daughter has some of the best lines in the movie, including "Mechagodzilla's brains are in my stomach," and my personal favorite, her dad asks her, "What repels you?" and she responds, "Vengeance and hate." This was this is a lot of fun. The monster battle is still nice. We got a new monster with Titanosaurs. I like the dinosaur-ish design of Titanosaurus. The battle sequences are pretty fun. We don't have a lot otherwise, but I had a lot of fun watching this. I think it was one of the better entries of just for sheer enjoyment, but mostly from those daughter's lines, but the sheer like evil scientist and the new monster and Mechagodzilla is just cool. Just straight up, like, yeah, 12-year-old Bob's like, yes, I can't believe you hadn't watched this when you were a kid. I know it's not a lot to say there, but yeah, but thank you for watching these 5 Godzilla movies. Like I said, I don't know if I'll get any further before the end of 100 Days of Horror. As I do this, I am about 2 weeks ahead, and I'm at number 92. And we have about just a few weeks left in real life, and I think I know what's going to fill those. I don't think I'm going to go back to that because I don't have the next one in the series. Return to Godzilla. This is Godzilla 1985. I'll probably watch both versions of that because 2 different cuts. They're apparently so different. Whatever, that's a whole different thing. But I don't have that, and I have to actually track that one down because it's not streaming. Probably have to hit up Scarecrow if I get the chance, just to get a copy of that. But thank you for watching. Follow along with everyone else down at cgeek.com and join us as we go through the last couple weeks of up to Halloween. Thank you for speaking with us about Godzilla. See you next time.